Every man wants to win, but most sabotage themselves before the race even starts. It's not because they lack ambition or talent, it's because they waste mental energy on BS. You've got about 35,000 decisions to make today, and most of them don't even matter. They'll still distract you, drain you, and leave you too mentally exhausted to focus on what moves your mission forward. And the thing is, high performers aren't superhuman. They're just efficient. They've mastered what I call decision hygiene, the art of protecting your brain's power so it focuses only on what matters. Today I'll show you exactly how to install it in your life. Let's go. Did you ever wonder why you can't decide what to eat after a long day? Well, that's not laziness. That's called decision fatigue. This concept is basically every decision you make, even dumb stuff like what shirt to wear today, and it costs mental energy. That energy, believe it or not, is limited. Every time you make a decision, whether important or not, it drains your mental battery. There's a famous study where judges gave parole 65% of the time early in the day. But before lunch, it was almost zero. It's not because they got meaner all of a sudden. It's because the mental cost of deciding drained their capacity to choose well. So that goes to show you that you really need to think about what you decide during your own day. You wake up and you scroll Instagram. That's another decision that you make. Then maybe you choose an outfit. You look at WhatsApp or another message and you just choose what to respond. Maybe send a sticker, but you don't know which one. And then you see another one. Should I decide now, respond now, or go about my day? I don't know. You know what? I'll still respond. And you are, decision after decision, you're draining your mental battery. And we're not even 5 minutes into the day. Then you have to decide between 20 coffees, stare to blow the to-do list if you have one. And before you know it, your mental battery is slowly draining. And by the time it's actually time to create, build, or execute on your mission, the thing that drives your life forward, you're so many decisions into the day that at that point, you're mentally bankrupt. You've got nothing left. And those important decisions, even when you make them, they're not going to be the greatest ones because your brain isn't in the right state to decide anymore. So the quality of your life is basically determined by the quality of your decisions. And your decisions are only as good as your mental battery. So that begs the question, what do the elite high performers really do differently? Well, that's as follows. They practice what I call decision hygiene because they design their lives to avoid trivial decisions. Obama only wore gray suits. Zuckerberg, one gray shirt. Steve Jobs, a black turtleneck every day. And why? Because they weren't going to waste mental energy deciding what to wear. They had way more important decisions to make that day, and they'd reserve all that energy for those decisions. Every unnecessary decision you eliminate gives you more bandwidth for decisions that matter. That's decision hygiene, and it's your next edge. So, if you walk the path cluttered with choices, then by the time you get to the important decisions, it's way too late. Whereas these high performers like Zuckerberg and Obama, they still make some lesser decisions during the day, like less important ones, but they have decluttered their day, so they've got more room for the important ones. And the important decisions they make, those decisions are way better off because they've got way more energy to allocate towards it. That concept is decision hygiene, and it's your next edge. So look around your desk, your workspace, your phone, your calendar. Every item out of place, every browser tab, every scattered task forces your brain to constantly process irrelevant noise, and your brain hates that. There's a cost to making those decisions instead of the important ones. In fact, studies show that clutter reduces your focus, increases anxiety, and speeds up decision fatigue. So it's not about being minimalist, it's about being strategic. Your environment's either helping you to focus or forcing your brain to bleed. Which means that the important question is that how do we protect our mental battery? How do we make sure this battery remains full for our important decisions? We can achieve this in 6 steps. The first step is automating. Plan ahead. Prep your meals. Standardize them. Batch recurring tasks like emails, errands, laundry. These are things you have to do weekly, daily, and pick your clothes the night before. Don't drag those tasks into the next day. Instead, automate them. Then limit your options. When facing a choice, narrow to 2 or 3 options max. Too many choices create paralysis and stress. That paralysis and stress is going to prolong the process of making the decision. That's valuable energy that you could have used for another important decision that you want to make later into the day. Then use rituals. Rituals are predictive markers that you can deploy during your days or your week. There's a morning ritual. It's an exact sequence without thinking. You have a work startup ritual, the same playlist, same coffee, and the same first task. A shutdown ritual where you have a clear desk, you review your goals, and you prep your next day. This way you know exactly what to do during those blocks and you don't have to think about it. It'll set you up for the next move and the next decision. Number 4 is designing your environment. Tidy your space every night. Keep only tools and cues that you need for your core mission, and block distractions physically. Put your phone in a drawer or in the other room and digitally turn your apps off or put a lock on them. That way it's harder to reach those things. Number 5 is deciding when to decide. Make your most important decisions during your peak energy window. For most people, that's the morning. For other people, it might be during another part of the day, but you can find this out for yourself. Don't decide on big things when you're tired or hungry. Schedule your big decisions. You should know when to decide on those things because those are the things that drive your life forward. You should make them in your most optimal state. No negotiation. And last but not least, take breaks. 90-minute sprints, for example, and 50-minute breaks. That way you're taking breaks to reset your decision capacity. Of course, a break later in the day is not going to fix everything, but that way you can at least keep momentum going and recharge for the next important decision. And of course, at the end of the day, you recharge for the next day with sleep. Sleep constitutes a full battery recharge. That's how you set yourself up for the next day with a full battery. Now, this isn't the only trick that high performers use. High performers track what they do, because what tracks gets improved. That means you should visually track your decisions. That way you can't escape what you're doing and you know exactly what streak you're building. Count your wins and see the gaps. If one is missing, then you know what to do and you know where to improve. No questions asked. This way you can keep aligned with what you're doing without having to make unnecessary decisions or reflections. It's right there for the taking. You know exactly where something was missing and you know exactly where to fix it in the next step. So track your decisions, track what you do. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. Once you're aware, you can optimize, and that way next time you won't lose your streak. Now, of course, this isn't just about planning. It's not just about tracking. It's of course also about integrity. Every time you avoid a decision, you delay your potential. Every time you follow through, even on a tiny choice, you build identity. So write this out. If I do X, then Y. If I don't, I pay Z. So if I do X, then Y, and if I don't, then I pay Z. So an example would be, if I don't train today, I donate 50 euros to a cause that I hate. If I skip my morning ritual, I lose my phone privileges after 8 p.m. These way you keep an internal conflict with yourself, you keep yourself accountable without punishing yourself. You're training your nervous system. This is simply conditioning yourself into the right behaviors. Because discipline isn't about motivation, it's about engineering your environment so action becomes the default. So basically, the world rewards fast execution and clear minds. If you want to win, start by protecting the one thing that every loser wastes: your decision-making power. In doing so, you gain your hidden edge. Install your decision hygiene, track your choices, and cut the noise. Show up daily with a full tank, ready to tackle the day while others run empty. Great men don't make more decisions, they make fewer but more powerful ones. Let me know in the comments which task you're going to automate. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, subscribe. See you in the next one.